Hey, 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 Jules. What's going on? How you doing? Hey, Janice James. What y'all up to today? Let me do something. I thought I better go on my mobile phone since my computer's been acting up. You ain't sleep, Jules? Give me time. Hey, RJ Supreme. How you doing? Oh, laying down. Oh, okay. Go on, lay down. Let's see. So I know everybody's been having. I guess I'm gonna get started. Everybody been having their opinion of beefing 313, and so I thought I'd just give my thoughts on him and what he supposedly had done, and people wanting to say that he was wrong and all the other names that they've been saying about him. Well, my opinion and my thoughts on it is he did what he should have done. That's what you're supposed to, especially with someone like Rob. Rob is a chicken time bomb. Rob is dangerous. He's dangerous, especially the way that he been acting and exploding and threatening and saying all the foul stuff that he have said um, about women, kids, babies, elderly people, and what he'll do to them. Beefing 313 wasn't wrong. And for all these people, I don't understand. I partially agree with you. Okay. For all these people that's saying, calling him all kinds of names, and like I said, uh, I give my advice and my thoughts on things like this, being in law enforcement. Okay. That's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to take things into your own hand. And if someone threatens you and you know that they're not, uh, because my opinion, he's not mentally stable. Plus, all that drinking that he does, drinking makes people behave in ways they normally would not uh, behave. Okay, so you don't have a clue what this man might have done, could have done if he chose to. I'm a son, so I don't subscribe to that. Oh, don't call the police on black people. Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, that's what the police are for. And I'm not saying all cops are good. I'm not saying all police departments are not good, but that's what you're supposed to do. I don't care if they skin black, white, green. That's what you're supposed to do. Because who wants to take stuff in their own hands and then end up in jail themselves? If he threatened that man and that man's family, he did what he is supposed to do. Call the police. And for all you people that have a problem with cops, I'm sorry. Okay. But you can't go around wanting to call a black person, a black man that called the police all these names. cop callers. Because let me tell you something. If something happened to you right now, somebody broke into your house, don't tell me you're not going to pick up the phone and call 911. And you're going to expect for the police to show up. So quit with this craziness, calling this man all these names and trying to make him to be something that he's not. He did what he's supposed to do. If it was you, you would protect your family also. Rob is not stable. And all the stuff that he has said and done on here, and he is known to carry weapons. All y'all know that because you've seen it. And so you want to tell him, well, he's just talking. It's on YouTube. People show up at people's locations all the time. Jump on planes, buses, or drive, to want to get with people. So what do you expect him to do? You expect for him to do nothing, and something happened to his family, then he's gonna feel guilty for not reacting, doing something. See, the only part that drives me not to agree with you is that beefing started the beef. To say that he started the beef, I'm not going to agree with that. Okay, all beefing did was go on to his channel and put the court hearing on his channel. He called. He was able to get in touch with Rob when he was in jail. Rob had a choice to speak to him or not. He chose to speak with Beefin. He gave Beefin his sister's number. And then for people to say that he was harassing his sister, come on now. The man told you that he called, he talked to the sister. The sister said she didn't want to be involved in it. And he said, okay. But still, do you agree with Troy's decision to continue to make commentary on someone he is afraid of? It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. That's what they say. If it's on YouTube, content creators gonna talk about it. He made 2 other videos shortly after his police video. Okay, was he harassing somebody? Was he harassing the sister? Was he harassing Rob? No, absolutely not. He covered the situation, which triggered him. Triggered who? Rob? No, that didn't trigger Rob. That alcohol triggered Rob. That's what triggered Rob. Rob is triggered by everything when he's sloppy, pissy drunk. And as y'all say, he's J-Dot. He's on YouTube to get clicks and views, and anything goes. Rob caused his own problems. His alcoholism caused this problem. His bad behavior caused his problems. Beefing 313 didn't put him in jail. Rob and Rob's behavior put him in jail. Now, I was able to actually look at the charges eye to eye so I could see what it said. And I'm going to tell you 150% Rob went to jail because Rob threatened a police officer. Bottom line, that's what he went to jail for. You cannot make threats to a police officer, whether you're in their presence or not. Hey, it me. And I said this yesterday in my video, and now that I've seen the charges, Beefing 313 did not do it. His charges was not enough for Rob to be arrested. While Rob was showing his ass in that chat, threatening that white police officer, he called his name, he gave his badge number, he called him a white cracker, and said what he would do to him, that he would whoop his ass if he seen him and out, outside. That's one of the threats you will go to jail for. That's an absolute. So no mistake. Don't get it twisted. It wasn't Beefing 313. 80 cop. Just got off work listening while I drive home. All right, 3. I agree with you regarding accountability. Okay. Rob is out of control, and everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. But y'all rather blame and put accusations and want other people to take accountability for his actions. He's a grown-ass man that have an alcohol problem. And in one instance, I feel for him. But on the other side of the law, I do not. You know, if you have an alcohol problem and you know you need help. Okay. But getting on a public platform and showing your ass is not it. Because that amen corner should be ashamed of pumping him up. Yes. And that is what he may not have gone as far as he went if that amen corner wasn't pumping him up. Because they was all up there laughing and yeah, Rob, and all this, and sitting up there doing that craziness. And now where is he? But do not sit here and blame Beefing 313, because his phone call after Rob was arrested did not do it. You cannot sit there, because more than likely there's a number of reasons. Either law enforcement was watching his live stream as it was live, as he was doing it, and when he made that threat, that was it to the police. Because you can't do that, because people these days, police is not going to accept you threatening them because of how the world is. And like I told you before, if you put your hands on the cop, you push a cop, you're gonna get a charge of assault on a police officer. That's a felony. Bottom line. So what y'all trying to blame a 313, I'm here to tell you that is not that's not why he's in jail. He's in jail behind his own actions and because he threatened a police officer. Who blamed Troy for Rob's behavior? Two things can be true at once. Rob belongs in jail, and Troy should not have over-inserted himself. Well, that's to each his own. But that's everybody on YouTube. They insert themselves and talk about other content creators, subscribers, or whoever, what's going on in the sector. That's what they talk about. If he wants to make 35 videos about it, that is his right to do so. As long as he is not doing anything that breaks the law. And he haven't. Because he's not the only one that's making videos. It's possible his probation officer that was assigned to him could have possibly been watching. It could have been probation officer, but his charges his charges, that felony, is for threatening a police officer. I used to do probation and would check my people out prior to them coming in. It could be, but the probation officer can't put a charge on him. Okay, that's the police, and if you look at the charge, it says threatening police officer or law enforcement or something like that. So that's what got him arrested, not beefing 313. Hey, Lovely. Hey, Miss Mary. 10 years here in Mississippi. Hey, JP. No, over, insert. Okay. Calling his sister, calling the jail. Well, isn't that what reporters do? Not saying that he's a reporter, but that's what happens in the on YouTube. If people want a story, what do? They go as far as they can to get that story, to get the, as they call it, the cheat. But he wanted the information. He wanted to see if he could get the interviews. He went after it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. If somebody else would have done it, then people wouldn't be saying that he went overboard and he did this and he called this. Well, you got to make calls to get your story, to get the tea. Do what you have to do. If his sister didn't want to talk, she didn't want to talk. She didn't want to be involved. She didn't want to be involved. And you don't bother her anymore. But he did what he had to do to protect his family. And that's the part that gets me. Because I watched all these videos calling him Beacon 313, all of these names, and said he was a male Karen. No, he's not a male Karen. He did what he's supposed to. Turn it over to the correct agency, to the police, and let them decide if there was anything that they wanted or could do. Hey, Percat, I hope he gets a few years inside. That would say, yeah, hopefully he do, that he gets some years to sit him down, that'll sit him down, okay, that'll help him detox, and hopefully he's able to take some AA classes while he's in, jail or prison. Well, if you go to prison, possibly he probably will. I don't know how California do, if they're going to send him to jail to service time or they send him to prison to service time. What police he threatened it went. Like when he was doing his live, he threatened the police that arrested him the first time. He called his name out. He gave his badge number out. And he said that if he seen him on the outside, he was going to whoop that white cracker's ass. Even if his PO had seen him on live threatening, What do you mean 300? Even you said even if his PO had seen him on live threatening an officer. I don't understand that part. Maybe you can rewrite it. Okay. Here in Mississippi, we all fall under the same umbrella. If you work in law enforcement, if it's clerical staff, you cannot threaten. Right. Yeah, you can't. You cannot threaten. And if you threaten one of those government agencies, whether it be police, probation officer, whatever, judges, attorneys, all that, you cannot do that. You cannot threaten them. But you can absolutely not threaten the life of a law enforcement officer that possibly arrested you the day before or whatever, whenever. You just can't threaten their life. And he's known to carry weapons. That's not going to go well at all. Can't do it. People may not agree with Troy's tactics, but he has no part in what got Rob arrested. Correct, J. Dot, and that's what I'm saying. These people, all they're looking at, and they're making their videos off the fact that they don't like the police to be calling him a cop caller. Because I tell you what, you come to my house or in the street somewhere, and you approach me or you threaten me or you put your hands on me, you best believe I'm going to call the police. Okay. And if I have to take you out myself, then I will. Why are people trying to blame Beefy? He did nothing wrong. No, he didn't do anything wrong. Oh, they want to call him a male Karen, a cop caller, calling him weak. He's a man. Why do you have to call the cops? Rob is a black man. Why you calling the police on a black man? I don't play that. I don't play that because every life matters. Okay, every life matters, whether you're black or not. So, but all these name callings, y'all need to stop that. That man did what he should have done and what he needed to do to make sure his family is protected, whether y'all like it or not. And he has no guilt behind it, and he shouldn't. He shouldn't. Because like I said, let something happen. Let somebody break in your house. And I have this T-shirt that says, for people like this that claim they don't like cop cars and they don't like the cops. I have a T-shirt that says, you don't like the cops. So the next time you need help, you call a crackhead. Let a crackhead help. Don't call the police. He belongs in prison. Yeah, he belongs. Well, do I want to say he belongs in prison? Well, for his bad behavior with the weapon, I'm gonna say it like this: he need to, he shouldn't be doing that. Guns and alcohol do not mix, and he could have killed somebody playing with it uh, under the influence. And I say that because I've seen myself what playing with a gun while you drinking could do. My first incident when I became a police officer, 3 Hispanic guys was in their apartment. They were drinking tequila, and they was intoxicated, all of them. Well, they decided they were going to take out a gun and clean it. Well, they say they was cleaning it. They was playing with the gun. The gun went off when one of them had it in the hand and shot the other guy, blew his face off. And I'm not talking, when I say I blew his face off, I mean blew the other guy's face off. He had teeth dangling, had one eye, and the other one was gone. It was off in all that flesh. The apartment was full of flesh all on the walls and floor and ceiling. From them playing with a weapon while drinking, like Rob was doing. So alcohol and weapons don't mix, and you shouldn't be handling those when you've been drinking. Let's see. Oh, I was saying in prison. Well, I really think that the court should sanction him to a inpatient rehab, uh, so he can detox and go through AA and whatever else that'll help him stop drinking, because he's hit rock bottom, and there's no other way to go but up. He can't go any further. Now, if he didn't, if I'm not mistaken, I thought, hey, Lisa girl, I thought I heard him say that he had Asperger's syndrome, and I don't know, but I'm just saying possibly maybe that is what makes him have those outbursts, the raging outbursts. I don't know, but yeah, he does need mental help along with uh, AA to stop drinking. If not, he's gonna end up uh, not being here with us on Earth. If he was to run into rob on the streets and had to protect himself or his family, then the police will know the history of those two. Yeah. So he did the right thing, in my opinion. Yeah. And that is why you do that, to protect yourself in case you somehow, some way run into this person, or this person come looking for you and you have to take them out. You'll be covered because they'll already have record of what's going on between y'all, or what has gone on between y'all. Because I wish us as a community would encourage more of our youth to join the force of the military. Yeah, and really should. Um, I mean, there's a lot of black officers, but there's more Caucasian police officers, and it would be good. It would be good, and hopefully they wouldn't turn out dirty like the five uh, cops from where was that at? I can't remember where those five officers was from, but yeah. Let's see. You were saying that his PO couldn't bring charges against him, and I was asking if even if his PO seen him threatening an officer on live, he couldn't violate him. I don't think a probation officer could violate him if they seen him online, just violate him like that, unless it was in his stipulations that he could be on YouTube. Um, and it may be some other stipulation that they may can call the probation officer could call law enforcement and get him violated that way. But they can't just go and arrest him. Probation officers can't. Hey, NYW, that police hating nonsense is holding us back. Yes, it is, because it doesn't make sense. If you don't have the police, who you gonna call when you need when you somebody break into your house, somebody steal your car, or somebody get taken out in your house, or whatever. All the criminal behavior that occurs. Who you gonna call? Like I said, you gonna call a crackhead? Is the crackhead gonna help you out because somebody broke into your house? Is the crackhead gonna help you out when you've been threatened by somebody you know that carries weapons? No. So that does none of that makes sense. And I understand, and I know every cop and every department is not good. I don't like dirty cops either. Absolutely not. But I'm not gonna sit here and try to preach and call people uh, male Karens and weak. Call a man weak because he called 911. That's what it's for. That's what keeps you out of trouble. when you pick up the phone and call for people that handle that. I pay taxes and I don't engage in crime. I have all the right to call the police. Yeah, absolutely, you have the right. They work for you. You pay their salary, or you pay taxes, and they get paid. Um, I'll call the police in a minute. Like Jay Wilson said, the law is for the lawless. Absolutely. And I've always said about Jay Wilson, he don't care. He will call the police, and I believe him, and he should. Why would he want to take the risk of going to prison himself if they find out, or if he do something wrong in the midst of protecting himself or his house or a car or whatever? You don't have to do that. Call the police. Come for me, it's going down. I know that's right. However, he had family in danger in California, which he loves apart from state's food. Yeah, yeah. So all these people that said all that, making these videos with these titles, calling this man all of the, and these people from the black sector and conscious sector, that sector that's saying all this crazy shit about um, beefing 313 is ludicrous. Ludicrous. They know Rob is a fuck up. They know he's a fuck up, and to sit and try to bag him up every time. Because who goes to jail, get out of jail, and 12 hours later, they've been arrested again for some outrageous, crazy shit. And the way he behaved at that hotel, none of y'all can tell me that you think the way he behaved was right, was good. And none of y'all can tell me that when he got stopped by the police and they gave him commands, that he should have paused or delayed in following those commands. Because he would have been taken out and having a phone in his hand while his friends lives apart. Okay. Hey, View, how you doing? He do his outrageous, from my point of view, his behavior as a sister, my brother act like that. It's nerve wracking. Yeah, it's just crazy, And if he don't care about his own life, you know, people are going to care when somebody's going through that, and especially, like I said, I feel for him because he's an alcoholic, and that's a sickness. But on the other hand, he does stuff that would eventually get him hurt or taken out. And definitely you cannot threaten law enforcement. That's a bad idea. I don't know what possessed him to do that. And it wasn't like he was just whispering it or talking about it. He was screaming it to the top of his voice with the front door open. And you just got out of jail behind some other stupid shit that you did. And you think it was going to be okay for you threaten the life of a law enforcement officer? Where do they do that? It's not going to go well for you. I believe you, the cop. People don't understand how easy a gun can go off. Um, Sober or drunk. Now think of a person like Rob. Absolutely. I mean, that's just crazy. And Tracy was crazy to be sitting there while he's playing with it, knowing he's drunk as Cooter Brown. My brother deceased now. but act like that. I, a female, that's why I said that. Yeah, Asperger's has nothing to do with this. You don't think? I think so. Okay, maybe not. His autism, it may not. But I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt because his behavior has been outrageously crazy. And people will say, "Oh, he just doing it for YouTube, for the clicks and views, for the shock value." Uh, um, no, no. See, nope. I know people with that syndrome, and they are very gentle. Okay. Decop in California, they have closed programs and services for the mental health. The that was a hospital. There was a hospital mental health, and they closed it down and turned it into a prison. Well, that's unfortunate, but Rob needs he needs help. His alcoholism. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I feel drinking alcohol the way he does probably has caused him some mental issues uh, or challenges. Just sitting there drinking straight alcohol all day, every day is terrible for your brain. See, I believe it's somebody from another sector calling police on him. It's really is going too far. The first, well, we know what was said, who called the police the first time. The second time, this time, it could have been anybody. It could have been the people, the man next door at the motel room, since he couldn't get any sleep, and I don't blame him. I don't know how he put up with it long as he did. I would have called after probably the first 30 minutes, but it could have been the manager. The manager probably had got many calls because he was making too much noise, and them thin walls at the hotels could have been him. It could have been law enforcement was watching him on live. It could have been somebody in the black sector, because everybody in the black sector or conscious sector don't like him, and possibly knew that the beef sector would be blamed for it, and sitting back laughing. But Troy didn't do it. Beef in 313 didn't do it. That's not why he didn't get arrested for it, because of beef in 313. Absolutely not. You can't threaten a law enforcement officer, threaten their life, because that's what he did. He didn't just make idle threats. He threatened his life. And if you don't believe it, try and threaten a law enforcement's life, and see where you end up. I do too. NYW say, Love Blake, I do too. Love Blake think it was somebody in another sector. Yeah, and highly possible. I would believe it. If I don't know, it could have been, and it possibly could have been the hotel guy. The guy couldn't sleep. Somebody from another sector. But to just go and blame, say it's beef sector, absolutely you can't do that. They took those patients on a bus and dumped them in local cities. Really? Oh, wow. Sorry, guys, my autocorrect is messing up. Oh, that's okay. Anyone that we got you. I donate to the police department. Hey, Mickey. Yeah, I don't. Okay, to the police department in my town. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just It just rubbed me the wrong way to see people calling beefing 313, all those different names. You know, you want to call somebody a cop caller because they did what they needed to do. I'd rather you call the cops than to end up sitting in the same jail as the person that did harm to you or broke in your house, all because you ended up popping them and you didn't follow the rules, the laws, and now you sitting there. I call on the cop of a dime. I I call on the drop of a dime. Yeah, me too. Let me need them. I have a question totally off topic. If me, my mom, and my wife are going somewhere and we're riding in the same car, who sits in the front seat? Your mom, your wife. Oh, I say your wife. Yeah, your wife. That's your wife. So mom sits in the back seat. Robert crossed over the virtue. Robert crossed over the virtue into the real world. I don't. His mind is really screwed up. That's how. I mean, how many of us have seen someone behave like him? I mean, there are probably people that have behaved like him, but I've never seen anybody behave like that. Especially talking about taking babies out, kids out, elderly people, and doing the unimaginable to women. I don't take the law in my own hands. I let them handle that shit. And that's what you're supposed to do because we definitely wouldn't want to see you going to prison for protecting your own property or trying to protect your own life. Um, but if it means your life, you have to do what you have to do to to still be here. I'm not saying that, but you call the police after that. But to say this man is wrong for calling law enforcement because his family was threatened, y'all are crazy. And y'all keep being having this black on black thing, uh, screaming and hollering, talking about he's a black man. But he's a black man. Yeah, he's a black man. Black men act a fool and do stupid shit where they end up in jail, in prison. That's what happens when you do the wrong things. You just should report from afar, like most of the folks here. He inserted himself and assisted with the chain of events. People, you talking about what? You talking about beefing 313? Do you? I don't know if you're talking about beef on three, but I don't. Like I was saying earlier, if he was trying to get the story, if he if he was trying to get the tea, as they call it, and help all, be the one that get that story, well, he did what he needed to do, or he thought he needed to do to try to get that story, to be the first one to get that story. Was he right? Some people say he wasn't right. Some people say he was right. I don't see anything he did wrong. He wanted the story. He wanted to be the first one to have that interview with Rob. He did what he wanted to do. He was able to contact him in jail. He attempted to want to interview the sister. Sister didn't want no part of that, and he backed off. That's what you're supposed to do. Rob can't self-destruct on his own. You say he can't self-destruct on his own. What do you need? He needs somebody to help him. Now, my feeling, I really think he wanted to go back to jail. And I know some people, made jokes and said he left something there. You know, he had to go back to get his hair braided or whatever. But to me, he lost everything: his job, his car, no money. What what did he what did he have? He got put out of his place. He had nothing. So going back to jail is better than to be homeless on the street and have nothing. You got a cot and you get 3 meals a day. His friends don't seem to care. No, they don't. They don't care. I mean, y'all heard them laughing when he got arrested. You heard them laughing. No, they don't claim friendship, but love watching a train wreck. Absolutely. And that's what that was from the beginning. As soon as he came in that hotel room, the train started, and they knew it was going to end up wrecking. I said the same thing. There's no way, if I was Rob's friend, I would have been on that live with him. I would have told him to leave, or I would have left. I wouldn't be enabling. And that's what they're doing. They're enablers. And now for his supposedly friends to come over here and want to ask people or suggest that people help with his he don't have a bail a bond, so he's not getting out. But his commissary, he doesn't belong to the beef sector. What? No, let his people help him with commissary. Tracy brought his ass into this for the beef sector. She can help him, and his people should help him. But stop coming over here talking about you want to give instructions on how to send commissary money. I don't think nobody really cares, and they shouldn't. They really shouldn't. But if they fools and want to donate to Rob again, somebody that can't seem to stay their ass out of jail, that goes back to jail 12 hours or 12 hours after they just gotten out. I think I've agreed about the female staying doing nothing. Yeah, whomever called the police on Rob that night actually probably saved his life. They actually, yeah, they did, because he need to be off the streets. He do not need. And when I say off the streets, hey, dumb player. When I say off the streets, meaning he don't need to be in a hotel room. He don't need to be in the pool house. He don't need to be walking the streets. He need to be in a rehab, inpatient, to get help for his drinking and help for his mental uh, disabilities, because something is not right, whether it's the alcohol that's affecting his thinking. Because as it is, you seen when he was on live, some of the stuff people was trying to tell him, he he was puzzled. He didn't seem to remember or had no knowledge of it. And that's all that alcohol. Drinking, 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 drinking. Uh, see, yeah, and they saved his life. It happens like that to some people. They may be mad because they went to jail, but going to jail saved their life. He doesn't care. No, and yeah, his supposedly friends. This is really sad. Sad that they sat there and laughed at him. when he was going to the jail, and then to sit there and scream out, "Tell him, Rob! Tell him you got 1,000 people that's viewing you." What what was that going to matter? What was that? How is that going to help him? There was no reason they should have done that. If anything, they would have made him possibly uh, where he made the wrong move, moving, turning the wrong way, and he had the phone in his hand. And the police end up thinking that he's going to turn around, and there possibly was a weapon in his hand, and then they take him out. That's what y'all almost caused, could have possibly caused to happen to your friend. They didn't care about his safety at all. No, absolutely not. Yeah. So I just really wanted to touch on all these people with these videos and people's opinion on calling Beefing 313, all of these names. Um, they're not thinking, and if they don't like cops, so be it. But you can't push that on someone else to not pick up the phone when they need to call law enforcement. If you need law enforcement, if your life has been threatened, your family's life has been threatened, you have every right to pick up the phone and call 911 and get help from law enforcement. Because if you have to do something to that person, you will be covered. It's called CYA, and I know everyone knows what that is. So stop making all these videos degrading that man. He's not weak. All because he's a man, he's weak for calling law enforcement. No, that's not true. Rob is not like I said, he's a sick man. And so Rob should not Rob, but Beefing 313 shouldn't just blow it off, because you never know. You never know what will happen. It don't mean that Rob would have did something to him or his family. He could have gotten somebody else to do it. That's always. I mean, you have to think about that. And these guys want to say, "Well, he know he was just talking. He was just talking smack on his." That ain't for Troy to figure out whether he was just talking smack or he was serious. But you don't take a chance when it comes to protecting your family. And so, I just wanted to put my video out, and maybe some people will understand, and some won't. And those that don't like the police and into this, he's a black man, and you could have had the white people shoot him down and all that. Well, that's life. That's life. Hopefully, when Rob gets out, whenever he gets out, hopefully he is healed from his disease to the point that he can function like everybody else, and come on to YouTube and make his videos with all that extra stuff, all that threatening uh, uh, YouTubers, content creators, without threatening law enforcement. That's the number one thing that he should, and hopefully and need to learn. That's the one thing you don't do. And y'all, stop talking about he's the cause of Rob being in jail, because he's not. That is not why he's in jail. He's in jail for threatening the life of a law enforcement officer. That's in the penal code book. That's where you get that charge. So, all right, I appreciate y'all dropping in, checking out my video. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm not a channel that do that back and forth, screaming and hollering. I just come on and say what I have to say. Other times we have fun, we laugh, and we enjoy it. But right now, to me, this is a serious topic, and it's a topic that I can speak on because I know law, and there's a lot of people that don't know, and I just hate for people to jump on Beefing 313 because he did what he should have done. He did what he supposed to do. And so if you don't remember anything else, think about this and remember what I said. If somebody breaks into your house, if someone threatens your family, if somebody steals your car, who are you going to call? Are you going to pick up the phone and call 911? Now remember, 911 is connected to law enforcement. Or are you going to call a crackhead? Until next time, I'm out of here.